My name is Devin Fracci. I am one of the hosts of the program. Joining me, as he traditionally does,
My name is Derek Franchi, coming to you from an undisclosed location.
Derek. You're in the dark. People that are just listening to this will not know that Derek is looks like you look like you're on a TV show like where you're like a whistleblower and they're keeping your identity a secret.
Oh, they don't want you to know that X-Men 97 is actually X-Men 99.
You actually sound quiet again. You were good for a second. What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
You got quiet again. Derek has had to leave his home because there was a power outage in his neighborhood and it's unbelievably hot and sweaty. And so he has checked himself into a hotel for the evening. That is currently what's going on with Derek's life. And that's why if you're watching this on YouTube, you will see that Derek is, again, in absolute darkness. But other than that, buddy, how's life?
It's okay. How's that? Any better with the volume?
That's better. Yeah, you sound weird,
Okay.
but you know what? Different than
I'm
you
using a real janky laptop. This is like my emergency laptop that
okay. I get it.
It's, I brought the usual camera I use, but there's no place to plug it into the laptop. It was
wow.
either the camera or the microphone.
All right. Well,
So I figured the microphone was probably more important.
yeah, that's
So I'm just using the laptop camera, and I'm in this hotel room, and
It's like a nice hotel room.
it's all right. I'm going to be leaving once we're done because about 5 minutes ago I got a message that the power was back on in my place.
Yeah, you can not get charged for the whole night though.
Probably, yeah.
Why leave then? Why not just stay in this big comfy bed?
Because I want to be home. I got to work in the morning, so I don't want to get up and have to like rush and whatnot. So I got to do that, and the internet is apparently still out, but it's supposed to be back up sometime before the morning. So I'll just leave after this.
All right.
Luckily, the hotel in Farmington Hills in the middle of the week is not very expensive, so
There you go. Very nice. Very
that's
nice.
a bonus.
That is a bonus. All right. We got a lot to talk about today. Do we want to dive right into the news this week?
Let's dive in. The Paramount Warner Brothers merger trial has been set for March, expected to go from March 2nd to the 19th. Stop it.
What's
Sorry.
going on?
I keep getting these pop-ups on this laptop because I use this laptop. The last time I used this was probably like 2 years ago, so I keep getting things of like, hey, you got to update this thing. You got to update that thing. I'm like, stop. I don't want to update anything. Leave me alone. But the delay is going to cost Paramount quite a bit of money because starting October 1st, they have to pay Warner Brothers $7 million a day until the merger is complete. And if it's not complete by like June 1st or something like that, Warner Brothers can back out. So it's very interesting to see what's going to happen.
So here's the thing that's really interesting. Paramount doesn't have this money. And David Ellison and his dad do not have this money, Larry Ellison. They're leveraging everything against Oracle. Oracle's gone really heavy into AI. AI is a bubble that's waiting to burst. So it's like really hard to know what's going to happen. That's a long time. And that's going to be a lot of money that potentially Paramount just does not have to pay. And so I'm very curious how this all works out. The problem is that if Paramount does back out of this deal, which is possible,
Which to back out, they would also have to pay $7
lot of
billion.
money. Yeah. The Warner Brothers may just break itself up and sell itself to other people
Sure.
in pieces. So that's not a great thing either. So
No. To put things in this perspective, this year, since the start of this year, Oracle stock is down 27%. So I imagine Oracle stockholders are not very excited by the things they're doing, both with Oracle itself and with the Paramount merger.
no, they can't be happy about this. And it is kind of interesting because the Ellisons obviously thought this was just going to sail right through. Like, because this is not a good deal for them. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It is just basically doing Donald Trump's bidding, like wanting to get CNN, wanting to get the studio so that they can produce stuff that's more ideologically in line.
Yeah.
But they did not take into account that it might not be that fucking easy.
Nope.
So God bless.
I mean, at this point, like I said, the trial is expected to go from March 2nd to March 19th. and then it'll be a couple of weeks before the judge rules.
And then they have to still close out the deal. Like the deal's just paused right now.
And then if the judge rules against them, they're going to have to appeal.
Right.
And, or I guess the AGs could also appeal if the judge rules for Paramount. So this could drag out for a very, very long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's also not good in general for Warner Brothers because, according to THR, or the Hollywood Reporter, that would be, there are clauses in the merger agreement that Warner Brothers cannot move forward on key properties without Paramount's approval during this period.
Yeah, so obviously we're talking about like Harry Potter, DC, stuff like that. But I think the thing that's really important to note is that this has been the case since this deal started, which has been a couple of months now. And people in Warner Brothers say that Paramount has not given them any feedback at all. They've had to go to Paramount with some of these things, and there's not been a problem at all. So I don't know 100% what that means if WB decided to make the Donald Trump is a rapist movie. Maybe Paramount would put their foot down. I don't know. But I feel like if they're going to do a Jimmy Olsen TV show, Paramount's pretty much like, yeah, go do whatever you want. Right? Like, that just seems like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
On the other side of the superhero aisle, Spider-Man Brand New Day is the highest grossing movie of the year after 7 days with $1.15 billion. It also, by the end of today, will have crossed $500 million domestic.
It's insane.
Unstoppable. It's an unstoppable film.
It's insane.
Yeah.
What do you think? Did you think this has any positive things to say, to hope for Doomsday? What do you think?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because, as far as we know, Spider-Man's not in Doomsday, which maybe Marvel's gonna be like,
yeah, they might be like, hey, let's go back to do some reshoots and get Spider-Man.
Yeah. Who knows? Hey, let's at least get Ned in there. Who knows? Like,
I will say, you know what? We don't think Spider-Man's in Doomsday, or he's not in Doomsday in a significant way. And I will say that what that says to me, and I'm being a little positive here, is that they created the story for Doomsday without being like, we got to put Spider-Man's always been their most successful character. So like, it's not news that it was. I think this successful is surprising. So they did not like shoehorn him into a story that he wasn't fitting into. So I will say that I think
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's always good. I watched a separate thing. I watched today a little clip from when they were doing the press rounds for No Way Home, and it was Zendaya, and she was talking about it was her and Holland and the guy that plays Ned, whose name I'll never know,
Jacob Batalon.
Jacob Batalon, and they were doing this interview, and the reporter asked him like what are your favorite lines from the movie, and Zendaya goes. She does one of the Goblins lines where he's like Norman's not in right now, honey. And she doesn't like Willem Dafoe. And then she starts talking, like, it's funny because she's not in that scene, and neither is Batalon. And then they start talking about how when they were filming that scene in Happy's co-op, they were on the second floor watching, because whenever they were filming stuff with all the villains, they just wanted to watch it. They were like sitting there with their cell phones recording it. And she's like, I have him just like sitting there. I have Willem Dafoe just sitting there saying it in different ways before they were filming, trying to figure out how to properly say the line. And it's amazing. It's like, Zendaya, release that footage. I want to see that.
Give us the Zendaya cut.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, Spider-Man's doing very well. Making a lot of money.
Unbelievably well. And you know what? So July's, I think, one of the most successful months in box office history between that and The Odyssey. Like, it's crazy how much money these two movies have made.
Yeah.
They're also going to probably try to get John Bernthal into Doomsday, since the Zendaya, Tom Holland, John Bernthal trio is the key to all success at the box office.
That could be it. Who knows?
By the way,
he's going to be in the next Spider-Man movie, right? I mean,
I don't know. Maybe.
I would think so.
If you want to hear us talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day, that's available on the Patreon at www.patreon.com/cinemasangha, SANGHA. It's at the $7 and above tier. It's our show called Watchmen, and we do a deep dive, 2.5-hour discussion about Brand New Day. Make it through the first 40 minutes, because Derek and I argue pretty bitterly for the first 40 minutes, but once you get past that, I think it's pretty good. So,
there's a lot of controversy about that movie now.
Is there?
Yeah.
What's the
about
controversy?
Spider-Man being pro-cop and pro-surveillance in the movie.
Oh,
People are very
yeah.
upset.
I mean, whatever.
People are upset.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
That's, you know
I'm,
what?
I'm
Like,
sure. I'm sure everyone's crying over their billions of dollars.
yeah, seriously. All right,
Yeah.
what else we got?
James Gunn took to his favorite place, Threads, to dispel some rumors. He said that Batman is not filming two movies back to back, Batman 2 and 3. That is not happening. He also said that the Blue Beetle animated series is still in active development and that the DCU Batman has not been cast. So, there you go.
What? I guess we should revisit this question after Lanterns.
Okay.
But do you think it's time for James Gunn to get Batman into the DCU?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I would say so.
I
I
think
mean, he's in an interesting. I think until Supergirl, I think he thought he was in a position where it's like, look, we got these other Batman movies going. They're going to make money. I don't need to rush into Batman.
right.
And now Supergirl is like the worst performing DC movie since Jonah Hex.
It's a fucking disaster. It's $126 million total lifetime box office. That's
Yeah.
a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe, he's going to want to get moving on that one,
Do you think that maybe he put too many eggs in the Superman family basket? Because he's got Superman, Supergirl, tanks. We got Man of Tomorrow. We got Jimmy Olsen TV show. Is that too many? That too much Superman family?
I don't think we'd be discussing that if Supergirl did well, is the thing.
No, 100%. But because it didn't do well, and everything else they're putting out is R-rated. Like that. The only things that aren't R-rated are Superman family. So, although who knows? Maybe Jimmy Olsen's going to be a hardcore X. He's going to fuck Grodd. But I'm just kind of wondering if maybe he's made a tactical error here.
I do think having the first three big movies be Superman, Supergirl, Superman is not the best move. It's not suggesting a wide array of stuff.
Yep.
It's hard for me to believe that it takes this much work to get a Wonder Woman or Batman movie off the ground. Like, is he being maybe a little too precious?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the Batman of it all really kind of needs to happen. I do. I mean, I guess, again, we'll see what happens with Lanterns and Clayface, right?
Yeah.
But I do feel like if you're going to be making like anything that's not just for adults, you're going to have to put a Batman in there at some point. I think that the audience kind of wants that. And I understand the problem that you have with the Matt Reeves Batman. Like, I get it, but I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's the moneymaker. And a lot of people on Reddit are like, look at this. Marvel puts out a Spider-Man movie, makes $1 billion, and DC's got a Jimmy Olsen TV show in development. And you're like, I do feel that a little bit. Like, I do feel
but
it.
I mean, I think, let's not forget that a year ago, Marvel also had a bunch of TV shows that nobody cared about, right?
Well, yes, Marvel though was getting
quality,
shit talked for the last 5 years. That's the thing. Everybody's like, Marvel's over, and then Spider-Man comes along, and everybody's like, oh no, actually, I love Marvel the whole time.
I'm on the Marvel Spider-Man kick. Another controversy that is happening aside with Spider-Man being pro-surveillance is people are suddenly like, the Mark Webb movies are bad.
Mark Webb movies are terrible. Oh, no, not Mark Webb. The Mark Webb movies. You're thinking John Watts.
John Watts. I'm sorry. The John Watts movies are bad.
Mark Webb made Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, but people are like, oh, Homecoming's not a good movie. And it's like,
no,
Homecoming's great.
The thing is, Homecoming came out 10 years ago, and so what you got is a lot of 21-year-olds who were 11 when they saw Homecoming, and then now they're like kind of turning on it.
Is it that, or is it the team stuff that we see all the time between Marvel and DC, but also like maybe it's dropping into Spider-Man now, where it's like, I'm on team, Destin Daniel Cretton.
I mean, that could be part of it too. I don't know. It's pretty weird how people just rewrite history like that. They do it all the time. It's very, very common. So,
like, I would not argue that Far From Home is not a great movie, but I think the other two are really, really solid.
It's not a great movie, but I really enjoy Far From Home.
I enjoy it, but it's not my like. Homecoming to me is like the perfect Spider-Man movie. Like I really love that movie a lot.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, moving on. Somehow, David Corenswet and Millie Alcock both won Critics' Choice Awards today for Superman and Supergirl, even though they came out in completely like a year apart. I don't understand. Do the Critics' Choice Awards only happen once every 2 years? I don't understand how that works.
Critics' Choice Awards are bullshit. So it's a horror group of people looking for access, and they want to take pictures with celebrities. So they're just trying to get as many famous people together as possible. So that's why that's happening. Okay. That's just, it's awful. It's just awful.
I was just so confused when I saw that today. I was like, wait a minute, they can't.
Yeah. I mean, technically, she was in Superman, so.
But she won for Supergirl, and he won for Superman. And it's like,
yeah.
How often are you having these shows? And also, if you're doing movies from 2025, you got to have it earlier. Like, to me, the Oscars is the cutoff. Like, after the Oscars,
Critics' Choice has a different award show. That's the Oscar time. This is their superhero awards.
I didn't know that.
No,
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. That's real dumb. That's real dumb.
It's total nonsense. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to the winners, I guess. But anyway, Gareth Edwards will not be making the next Jurassic World movie. He's out.
I didn't hate the last one. It's not good, but I think Edwards has a really interesting style that he brought to it, like where the dinosaurs feel really impressive. He's very good at that. That's been like his number one thing, from Monsters to Godzilla, even Rogue One, the stuff. I'm not, who knows who directed exactly what, but some of that stuff, especially some of the Death Star stuff, does feel like very big in a way that Edwards is really good at. And so there's some stuff in that last Jurassic World where it feels very, very big. The problem is that none of these Jurassic World movies are any good at all.
No.
And they don't have a reason to exist at all. There's just nothing going on. There's no story to tell. There's no characters that anybody really cares that much about. There's just nothing. So every movie has to come up with another reason why there's dinosaurs running around. And it's terrible. Is this like the fifth one they're making now, I think?
More than that, there were... Right, there were the original three, and then three with
Jurassic
Pratt.
World. Jurassic World.
Okay, yeah.
The last
this will be the
fourth.
sixth one that they're about to do.
No, the last one was the fourth one with Jurassic World, wasn't it?
Oh, no, you're right. For some reason, I'm thinking that Edwards did two movies.
No, he just did the one. He did the previous one.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't. I would take the money, but if I was hired to write the next Jurassic World, I don't know what the fuck I would do. Like, it's just like I don't know, man. Like,
I would do the one thing we've all been waiting for, which is the military takes over and starts putting guns and shit on the sides of dinosaurs and having people write them, and you make that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And then there was the John Sayles Jurassic Park 3 or 4 script where they were genetically engineering dinosaurs into soldiers, like they were like
yeah, that's awesome.
Intelligence. I think that at the time when we heard that was what they were doing, we were all like, "That's the dumbest shit ever." But now we're like, we watched a bunch of Jurassic Worlds. We're like, definitely give us the dinosaurs.
Let's do something different. Yeah, time to do something. Yeah.
Definitely do that.
If they were like, "Fuck it, Jurassic World is now Planet of the Apes," like we're just gonna go that way with it, I'd be like, "Cool, all right."
Well, that would be so much more interesting, right? Like if it was like the dinosaurs have reconquered the Earth, global warming has made it so that the dinosaurs are actually the perfect species to live now.
Yeah.
That'd be much more interesting, but
I'd be into that. Speaking as we were before of the Jimmy Olsen series, Mary Holland has joined the show. She's playing a character named Sandra. There are two, in my mind, possibilities of who that could be. The one that I honestly think is most likely, if it is based on a comic book character, is Sandra Bradley, a character who appeared once but is a documentary filmmaker and the granddaughter of Slam Bradley, the DC detective.
Slam Bradley's a porn star name, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. I imagine in like 1937 or whenever he was created, he was not a porn star name so much.
Yeah, but I do feel like in 1930, whatever, I think that you still said like, "Oh, I slammed that one last night." Like, I think that was.
I give her the old Slam Bradley. Yep. But it could be that, which because of the show is supposed to be a documentary, like a mockumentary thing, I could see that being the character.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, yeah.
The other option is Lucy Lane, who, depending on what the continuity is, she's either in the military or she's a lawyer or she's an airline attendant. She could be anything.
Why would that be Lucy Lane if her name is Sandra?
because whenever she's gone undercover for things, the name she's used is Sandra Rogers.
Okay.
And she, in the comics, has been married to Jimmy Olsen twice.
Okay.
And she's also married to Ron Troop at one point.
Wow.
So
She could be the wife on the other end of that phone that he was crying about his cat to.
That wasn't Ron Troop.
First Superman. Well, that wasn't Ron Troop in the first Superman?
No.
Who was that?
That's the football guy. I can't remember his name. Ron Troop is the guy who doesn't speak throughout the entire movie. He's just standing around. Okay. Yeah. What is that guy's name? I can't remember what that character's name is.
Mary Holland, I just watched her on the new Little House on the Prairie. And I liked her a lot. She is a terrible, mean lady. Who very good performance. She's got really mean face. I looked at some pictures of her and other things, and she kind of just has mean face. She's a comedian. She's an improv comedian. She's UCB. I'm sure she's a nice lady, but she really can do a good mean face. And I'm kind of curious if that's the angle they're going to go. I liked the new Little House on the Prairie, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm a Little House guy, and I really enjoyed.
You're a little housey?
I'm a little housey. I'm a housey. I enjoyed it. It's like 8 episodes. It is largely individual episodes. There's like a overarching story, but like each episode often feels like its own thing. And I think that it really splits the difference between sort of what's in the books and sort of modern sensibilities. There's big changes, but there was big changes. After like the pilot episode of the original Little House, and there was nothing related to the books anymore. People forget that was 8 seasons of a show where there was nothing.
9 seasons.
9 seasons
and 3 movies.
And but I like the actress that plays Laura. I like the actor that played Pa. And this is not really a spoiler, but if you were wondering, because Little House on the Prairie, the book ends with them leaving town. And in real life, they kept leaving town because Pa owed so much money every place, they would just skip out on his debts. But that's not in the books. But that's
it's like, I'm not doing that shit.
that's in real life. But at the end of the season, they do in fact move to the next town, which I was very surprised
they're not
by.
in Walnut Grove. So.
No, they're not in Walnut Grove. It's correct to the first book. Actually, Little House is the second book because it's Little House in the Big Woods is the first book, and then it's the third book. The second book is sort of like not. It's like her future husband's story. Yeah. So, but the third book is Little House on the Prairie. And
when did you do like Little House meets Jason and stuff like that?
That's like the 11th book. But it's funny because people get very upset about. So there's a black doctor. And people got really upset about that. The problem is that black doctor is in the book. He has a bigger role in the TV show, but he's in the book. And he's the first black person that Laura ever saw in her life. Yeah, and but like I really liked it. I thought it really kind of like captured. It was like the middle ground of like very sweet stuff and like very classic Little House sweetness, but also sort of modern TV stuff, like where it's got like thoughtful things and like the Native American stuff I thought was really, really well done. Yeah, I liked it quite a bit actually. And they spend a lot of time singing.
Okay.
They play the fiddle and sing a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I wasn't that wild about Ma. I wasn't that wild about.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
But the new Half Pint, she's good?
I thought she's great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is her sister blind yet or no?
No.
Okay. Is that from the books or did they just do that on the show?
That's from real life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wild.
Yeah.
Wild. Moving on. Destin Daniel Cretton discussed the Wonder Man cancellation with The Wrap. He said, I love that show to death. If it were up to me, we would be making that show. And I do believe that and I know this sounds weird, but if it were up to Kevin, we would be doing that show. I'm just talking. I don't fully understand the business of streaming, but if the business was right, we would be making that show because I know Kevin loves that show as much as I do. It's a bummer. I'm heartbroken about it, but I need to fully understand why, which suggests it was Disney Plus's decision not to move forward.
It was Disney or Disney Plus. Yeah, that's definitely 100% the case because Andrew Guest, who was the actual on the ground showrunner, said that they had every contract signed. Like they were
Yeah.
like, ready to go. Like this was not a scheduling thing. This was they signed everybody on for another season. And so he's like, we don't understand why this happened. Now here's the thing though. Do you think that Destin Daniel Cretton directing Spider-Man and making $1 billion in 7 days gives him a little bit of elbow power to like kind of elbow his way in and go, no, we want to bring Wonder Man back?
No.
You don't think so?
I think Disney and Marvel are. I think they've figured out like, hey, doing these shows actually hurts our movies. So let's stop doing these shows. I would not be surprised if the next season of Daredevil is the last season. Like I think they might be getting out of live action TV.
It's possible. It's possible.
Because they got nothing else going.
The thing is, they want to have Disney Plus shows. That's the issue, though. They don't want to give up Disney Plus shows because they need the shows to have people continue to subscribe. This is the Netflix thing. This is why Netflix just keeps putting out original shit, even though nobody watches it.
But I think between Maul, Shadow Lord, and X-Men '97, they're like, more people watch these, and they cost a lot less.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I still think that that's a very specific. I don't know. I feel like they're not going to give up on live action totally. I don't.
Maybe they'll do specials, but
I don't know.
I don't think they're going to keep. Maybe they'll keep doing Daredevil. I don't know. I know. I've read that Daredevil Born Again season 2 had 50% of the viewership of season 1.
Right.
That's not a good sign. That means this is not hitting, right? So
yeah, but again, like the thing is, as Cretton says, I don't understand this business, and they don't understand this. It's not. They don't know if it was a success or not. Like they have no idea, because when he's asked if they would do a Wonder Man movie, he said that's an interesting question, and he says, the thing is, like if we did a movie, at least I would know how much money the movie made.
I would know if people watched it. Yeah,
because he doesn't know from the streaming thing. He has no idea. But also on top of that, as I've said a million times, the streaming services, they don't necessarily care if you watch it. They care that you subscribe and that you stay subscribed. That's what they care about. And they want these shows to draw new subscribers in. The problem is that many of these services are hitting sort of saturation. They're not going to be able to get many more subscribers. Like Netflix, I don't think, is going to be able to grow much more. But the modern capitalist society says you have to continuously grow or you're dying. So.
Yeah. I mean, maybe like worldwide they can keep growing. I don't know. I have no idea. He also said that he turned down Doomsday because it was offered to him, but he couldn't find his way into it.
Yeah, he was going to do Kang Dynasty, and that movie got changed into Doomsday. And it is nice that they offered him, like, hey, do you want to stick around? But I guess that he had just such a vision for Kang that he had been working on it for a minute, that I guess that the sudden change of pace into Doom just did not work.
Didn't hit right. Yeah.
That makes sense. And that's good. Again, he's got, like, fucking... I feel like he's got some real power around Marvel right now, the way that Coogler does. Do you know what I mean? Like Coogler is like, we're making Black Panther 3 in 70mm film, and they're like, sure, why not? Like I feel like when you make a movie like that's that big a hit, you do get some power. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Then we've got the trailer for Only Living Pickpocket in New York.
Did you watch it?
I did.
What'd you think?
I thought it looked great.
Looks really. I mean, my understanding is that it's good. I'm friends with the writer and director. That's my understanding. I'm friends with the writer and director of this picture, so my opinion is obviously biased. But my understanding is the movie's real good, and that this is probably a John Turturro Oscar play.
Oh, okay.
He's never been nominated.
That's insane.
I know. That's crazy, right? Bonkers. He's going to at least be nominated next year, but the hope is that he can actually take it.
Get something, yeah.
His competition it's interesting.
Is Matt Damon.
He's got Matt Damon. Matt Damon's got a really good chance. If Digger is better than it seems, maybe Tom Cruise has a real chance. There's a couple of guys who are like owed their Oscar for acting. Because Damon has that one for writing, right? But Turturro feels really like the guy who's owed it. Like, really feels that way. And so here's the crossed fingers that it. And I think there's a chance that Noah Segan could end up with a nomination for Best Original Screenplay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this as somebody who doesn't know Noah Segan. I'm not his friend. His last movie that he wrote and directed, Blood Relatives, which he also starred in, is really good. Like, really, really good. And the trailer for this, I'm like, oh, this dude, he leveled up. Like this looks really impressive, and the cast is very impressive.
Yeah, it's got John Turturro, Steve Buscemi, Giancarlo Esposito. What's her name? Tatiana Maslany. Yeah, it's a terrific cast. It's a terrific cast.
Yeah.
Like I said, my understanding is it's pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Yeah.
We also got the trailer for Primetime, which is probably also going to be an Oscar contender from the looks of it.
I don't know if Pattinson's going to be in the race.
No?
No, I'm not convinced.
Okay.
And also the thing is that, here's the thing. Well, it's an A24 movie, which means that they're not going to have the muscle to push it. Like, the Pickpocket is Sony Pictures Classics. That's like their business. They're one of the companies whose business is Oscar movies.
Yeah.
But A24 a little bit less. The thing is, I thought this was an incredible trailer.
Yeah.
But it's an A24 trailer.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the truth of it is.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm not going to say who it was because I don't know if they're allowed to discuss it. But last week I had dinner with somebody who was in town, and they brought up this movie. They'd seen it. Mm-hmm. And they said it was great. And they said that there's a very surprising cameo in the movie that they're clearly keeping quiet until the movie comes out. So
interesting.
Yes.
Jimmy Olsen's in the movie.
Jimmy Olsen is apparently, it looks like he's a major part of the movie.
So after this trailer came out, I went to Paramount Plus and I watched the documentary from last year called Predators. And it's a documentary about To Catch a Predator and about the people that do it now online. And it's a pretty good documentary. And I know exactly who Jimmy Olsen's playing based on that documentary. Because there's a guy, they had hired actors to be the decoys. And so that's what he's playing, a decoy. But there's one specific decoy. You might remember this in real life. There was a guy who they did a sting on, and he shot himself in the head. Yeah. And that actor, who would be Skylar Gisondo, was the decoy on that particular thing. So it's definitely going to be that. Now, here's the thing. Watching that trailer, there is like... Chris Hansen seems to be portrayed like a maniac. And I am kind of curious, like, what that's about. So I think Chris Hansen might be a bad guy. Like, watching this documentary, the thesis of the documentary is that there's more than one predator involved in these things, and the people that are filming it are themselves predators.
They are.
That it is, evil, kind of an evil thing that they're doing in and of itself.
It's a disgusting show.
It's not helping anybody.
No.
And I mean, it's very entertaining,
Sure, but it's a horrible thing to make a show out of.
Yeah, and the director is a guy who was abused as a kid, and his whole thing is that every single time that Chris Hansen sits down with somebody, he says, what were you thinking? And he was like, I would watch the show hoping to understand what was going through people's minds, like to find the humanity in this and understand what's going on, but it's never interested in doing that. It's only interested in creating a spectacle and not helping anybody. There's just nobody is helped. And also a number of the Dateline things, it's poison evidence. They're on camera confessing before they've been arrested or gotten their rights, but he's working with the cops. Like, the cops are there. So, like, it becomes a real fucking mess. And there's been a number of police departments that would not work with them back in the day because of that. They're like, we much prefer to close these cases than be on television. Yeah. It's kind of the whole superhero thing, right? Like, does anybody that Batman catches actually go to prison?
No, they go to Arkham.
But I'm saying, like, it's one of those things. You're like, well, this person could just do their civil rights have been denied because this guy is not a law enforcement, and any evidence that he gathered is fucking thrown out because there's no chain of custody, right? So, I mean, it's very interesting.
Also, he tends to break as many bones as possible.
He does do that. That's also a lot of brutality going on. So, that's always the big question, though, like superhero stuff. Like, what would actually be the trials would be like? And it'd be like a lot of lawyers going like, listen, my client's civil rights were trampled on, and so was his back.
So let me get this right. You're saying that my client robbed a bank, and your evidence of it is a guy who dresses up like a bat, and he won't come here to discuss it? I feel pretty good about the chances of this not happening.
Yeah. So, but the Predators is not a great documentary, but it's a good documentary. And I'm really fascinated by the modern day guys that do this on YouTube. because all that they seem to do I've seen a number of these things, all they seem to do is film themselves committing assault. They love to go like chase guys down and hit them and knock them over. And like, you're committing assault. Like, it doesn't matter what this guy was doing online. That doesn't give you the legal right to like beat this guy up, but they do it. I watched one that was insane. They had a guy in a store because they meet them in public places. Unlike Chris Hansen, they would like rent a house. These people like meet them at a store or whatever. And they're just smacking this guy in the face again and again and again. I'm like, well, you should be going to prison for this. Like, this is textbook assault.
Yeah.
It's very, very fascinating.
Well, there you go.
They mostly in the documentary follow a guy who said he has that critique of the other guys. Like, they're a little aggressive. He goes, I'm trying to do Chris Hansen, and his name on YouTube is Skeet Hansen. It's really stupid.
Is he in the documentary? He's like, I didn't know what skeet meant at the time.
No, it's not. You get the sense that he did know what skeet meant.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Well,
but Predators it's on Paramount Plus. So if you subscribe to Paramount Plus, it's available for free. It's kind of a good pregame for prime time to kind of get like the facts of the situation down before this fall when that movie opens. And it looks like it might take some liberties with it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I personally think Pattinson has a good chance of getting an Oscar nomination. Maybe A24 doesn't have the muscle, but I think him being in The Odyssey and Dune.
No, I don't think so.
I think they'll just nominate him to get a big name in there.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't. I think that it's too early for Pattinson. I think that...
Chalamet gets nominated every 3 weeks.
No, he has not gotten nominated that many times. And he had to go do like a real fucking like a hardcore push to get nominated.
Yeah. That's the thing that would hurt Pattinson is I don't get the feeling Pattinson's interested in doing
He won't do it. And I just think that like his role in the Odyssey is like so goofy, which is like what he's great at. He's great at being creepy little guys. And that's going to be his role in the Dune too, by the way. So I don't know if that's going to actually hurt him, like when it comes to when they're trying to. But again, there's like a lot of people this year who are kind of like gimmies. So like again, Damon is like almost certainly got a spot. Turturro almost certainly has a spot. I'm trying to think who else we got. I mean, again, Cruise has got a chance. Gosling is probably going to get in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would say. So I think,
it'd honestly be crazy if Gosling did not get in there.
I mean, I feel like that's 100% the kind of role that they would absolutely like to award with an Oscar because it is such a popular movie. Like, it's a good performance in a popular movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But,
we'll
yeah. All right. We got anything else?
Yeah, David Zaslav says that the future of DCU looks good, but during a quarterly meeting, I guess, but he did not mention the 10-year plan because I think the future of DC probably doesn't look that good after Supergirl.
Well, that's the thing. He's like, yeah, well, we understand. There was a really interesting thing. This is probably for Bad Batch, but Disney did one of these too last week, and Josh D'Amaro, the new CEO, basically was saying, yeah, Mandalorian and Grogu did tank at the box office, but it really pushed toy sales and it pushed park attendance. And like, honestly, that's like our business. Like we can take a little bit of a loss on the film front and we think it's going to be very popular on Disney Plus. So like it's feeding these other pieces of the business. And that's maybe part of like what Zaslav is hoping for with Supergirl, but I think it's just such a fucking disaster. And yeah, I just don't know. Like, Gunn's contract is up soon. I just don't know what it looks like. I just feel. I mean, I guess if Clayface kills it and if Man of Tomorrow kills it, we're looking at a different situation. But I don't know what we're really looking at here.
I think his contract is up before Man of Tomorrow comes out.
I think it might be.
Yeah.
I'm kind of very curious. Zaslav also said that they are going to be doing a theatrical Game of Thrones movie.
Okay.
Aegon's Conquest, which is going to be the dragon riders coming to Westeros for the first time.
Oh.
And that's going to be the movie. Now, who knows when that's going to happen, but that's like what they're telling the stockholders to make them feel happy that they have big IP stuff moving forward. So
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
How nice. And then Deadline is reporting that Kit Connor is going to play Cyclops in the X-Men movie.
It seems like good casting to me. Kit Connor's a pretty big star among young people.
Is he?
Yeah, he's on the show Heartbreaker. That was very popular. It's gay. He is also out as bi, so that's kind of an exciting thing because Scott Summers is now bi in the comics, as he's in a throuple with Wolverine and Jean Grey.
Are they still in a throuple?
I don't think so. I think that all
Okay.
comes and goes. All these things. There's nothing stays. I think actually the X-Men comics are like in a not great place right now.
All of Marvel's not in a great place right now.
Yeah,
for
all of
comics.
Marvel's. Yeah, that's really true. All of Marvel's not in a great place.
Like,
The
I don't know
big-
if you've seen their horror line they have coming out.
Yeah,
It does not
it looks
look good to me.
horrible. It looks
Yeah.
awful. And I mean, obviously, Stephen Wacker's coming on. He just started as editor in chief, so like, it's going to take him a second to right the ship. We're 6 months out before the first fruits of his shit is going to be even remotely
Yeah.
seen. And I don't know that he's going to like fire people off books very quickly or not. He's going to maybe try to get.
Well,
people a
I mean,
chance
they're
to right
moving
the ship.
to LA. That's one of the first things under him.
But that's not his choice.
I mean, that's not his choice, but that is part of the deal. It's like, hey, he's taking over and we're moving out of New York.
Yeah, but that's not going to impact the creative staff. That's only going to impact the office staff.
Yeah.
Creative staff already lives everywhere, so
Yeah.
nobody's gone into that office to write or draw forever. So I'm kind of like the current big event is Avengers Armageddon, and it's kind of like not that great. It's not terrible. I kind of like what they've been doing, which is that each of their annual events leads into the next annual event. It's a little bit exhausting, but also I kind of like that there's a story going through the entire Marvel universe.
I guess, but it makes every event just the lead into the next event. So there's never a feeling of like, this is similar to the problem I have with Absolute Green Lantern. There's never a sense of accomplishment when I'm reading it. I'm like,
Oh, I disagree.
This is just going on and on.
So let's say Blood Hunt, the Blood Hunt event when Marvel Universe was attacked by vampires, it was like a huge event, like where there were just people becoming vampires, a ton of vampires. They had to cure vampires. In the course of that event, Doctor Doom became the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes.
That then led to the story where Doom takes over the world. But like that vampire story ended. Like that wrapped up. Like they took care of it. The Doctor Doom thing, the setup was that Doctor Doom became Sorcerer Supreme. This gave him the magic ability to do the next step in his world conquering plan. When that story ended, Doctor Doom did get killed.
But they announced like 2 weeks later, like he's coming back for the next story. Like
he's not though.
That's what they said. That's what Marvel said.
Yeah, no, he's not. He ended up, I think he's traveling through time now, I think is the story. But he might be in hell. Captain America's in hell right now.
Boy, Donald Trump really fucked up everything, huh?
But then the next story was that Latveria now has no ruler, and there's like sort of like a scramble for who's going to control Latveria and Doctor Doom's crazy technology and magic stuff. And it ends up being General Thunderbolt Ross as the Red Hulk takes it over.
Sure.
And then so it becomes sort of like a giant like thing. Hey, buddy.
He's got thoughts.
So each of the stories ends. It just creates a scenario for the next story to begin. I don't mind that. I think the stories aren't that great is sort of the problem. But I like that premise that like coming out of this story, Doctor Doom becomes a big deal. And then coming out of that story, Doctor Doom is gone, so Latveria has to be dealt with. And that it just feels like each of them ends. But yeah, I don't know.
All right.
But there's not that great is the problem. I mean, conceptually it's fine. It's just that the actual execution's not that great. Anyway, Kit Connor,
He's got a superhero name. I'll give him that.
He does, and we were wondering how they were going to approach the age stuff in this X-Men movie, and this answers our question.
I didn't even look at how old he is.
He's like 20 something, early 20s.
Okay. So he's roughly like Sadie Sink's age. So that's good. He fits into there.
Like a weird spoiler thing to say.
Is it? They put it in the ads now.
Oh, do they put it in the ads now?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, this is Marvel. After the first showing in theaters, they're like, by the way, here's everything.
Okay, well then, yeah, because that was our big question on Watchmen. Was like, well, Sadie Sink we don't even know what age she's playing in the movie. She's 24 in real life, but she looks young, and they don't specify what age she is in the movie. It could be anywhere between 16 and 25. Like,
Destin Daniel Cretton did say that in his mind, she's younger than Peter. That he wanted someone who is younger than Peter in his group to be the villain of the movie.
I mean, that makes sense because one of the things they talked about was that every other movie had Peter has a mentor, and then in this one, he's kind of becomes her mentor, sort of. That makes a lot of sense. He's like 22, so it's like hard to say.
They're just out of college, right? Would be
just out of
their
college,
age.
they're drinking age. They go out of their way in the movie to show us
Yeah.
them drinking. So they're 21, 22 is probably my guess on what it
Yeah.
is. So yeah, so then let's assume that she's 18, 17, 18. By the time X-Men comes out, she'll be 19 or something like that. Like,
34. Yeah.
so yes, but anyway, Kit Connor being cast does indicate to us that the rest of the team is going to be young. Now here's the thing. Everybody's saying that Charles Melton is going to play the Beast. And I like Charles Melton a lot. The thing is, I really think Charles Melton should have been Cyclops.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Charles Melton is?
Not by name.
How do you not keep up with any of the interesting actors that are out there today?
Because I don't give a shit. That's all.
But this is not about gossip. This is about who's an interesting performer.
Oh, I'm looking at Charles Melton. You do not make him the Beast.
That's crazy, right? He like you put the visor on that guy. He has fucking superhero face, right? Like crazy.
He is far too handsome to be like, we're going to make it blue and furry.
Isn't it? It's like kind of crazy, right? Like it's kind of nuts. And like, so I don't mind Kit Connor. Kit Connor's
He's
nice
also,
looking.
he's
He's
old.
35. He's kind of old. I mean, maybe that ends up being the problem. He's too old. Because you can have, I guess, Hank be any age,
Yeah.
right? Because he doesn't have a romance within the team. All of his romances happen outside the team. But
This guy, his chin is unbeatable.
it's unreal, right? He's got like an unreal superhero chin.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, imagine that guy in the Batman cowl,
Oh my God.
right?
Forget about it.
Like 100%. Charles Melton is a very fucking handsome man, and he's a really good actor. I really like him. He's in this amazing movie that people did not, I think, get properly. May December.
Oh,
Did you see May December? Todd Haynes.
No.
It fucking rules. It's sort of. It's like a riff on the Mary Kay Letourneau thing. Remember her?
Yeah.
The teacher who got pregnant by her student when he was 13 or whatever. And it's Julianne Moore.
Great 30 Rock storyline.
Julianne Moore is playing that character, and Charles Melton is playing the guy who was 13 when she slept with him and got knocked up. And they're still married, and they have kids, and he's really fucking good in it. It's like crazy how good he is in that movie.
Yeah.
And he's good in a lot of stuff. He's really good in Warfare. A lot of really interesting actors are in Warfare. Have you seen Warfare?
I have not.
See, that one I recommend seeing, especially because you're a big Dolby Atmos guy. The fucking sound in that movie's
No,
insane.
I have to watch it. I have to watch it. Did we discuss that I watched The Long Walk?
No.
I did.
What'd you think?
I loved it until the last 5 minutes. I think the ending is terrible.
Yeah.
But everything else, I mean, my God. The two main actors, what's their names?
David Johnson, man.
David Johnson. Oh my God, he's
He's the new Black
amazing.
Panther. It's incredible. You watch it, like, oh,
Yeah.
of course he is.
Yeah. And it's funny watching the movie. It's like, I know they didn't know, but it's like Cooper Hoffman, he's got a backpack on, and he's holding the straps with his arms crossed a lot throughout the movie. I'm like, is he trying to tell everyone that this guy should be Black Panther because he's doing the Wakanda Forever thing throughout the whole movie? Yeah.
People online got mad that Cooper Hoffman is wearing jeans in that movie.
Sure.
You kind of don't want to do that when you're doing that walk. I get it,
No,
but also like when Stephen King wrote that story, people didn't have sweatpants the way they do now. Like we didn't have athleisure, so like I don't know. Those characters probably did have jeans on in that story.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I like it quite a bit. It's really, really good. I like when the guy shits. I like that a lot. I mean, not very often you watch a man shit while walking on your screen.
No. The one thing that did make me laugh really hard is, I suppose, spoilers for the movie, is that Cooper Hoffman's character, throughout the movie, there's clearly something with his dad that he's trying to prove. And then when they do the flashback, it's just Cooper Hoffman. And I'm like, wait, did this happen 2 weeks ago? Like, but he's clearly supposed to be younger, but it's like they didn't do anything to make him look younger. Yeah. And the ending is, I think, very bad.
I like Cooper Hoffman a lot.
He's
Hoffman,
real good.
Also in Warfare, by the way, very good in Warfare. Again, that movie is just full of like that's sort of the Black Hawk Down of this generation. Everybody in that movie is an incredible actor, and they're all going places.
Yeah.
And Cooper Hoffman, I just saw him in the new Greg Araki movie, I Want Your Sex, and he's real good in that.
Yeah.
And Olivia Wilde sticks a giant dildo in his asshole. So
There you go.
yeah, I liked it a lot. It's very funny, and it's very it's like kind of like aimed at like my generation, because like one of the themes of the movie is like, why aren't the kids having sex today, and like why are they all so sex negative? And
Well, Greg Araki is our generation.
he's
been
like
around forever.
actually he's 60, so he
Is
might
he
actually
60?
yeah, he might be
Wow.
like, yeah, well, his first movies were out in the mid 80s, I want to say. So
I thought he started like because
no, you just became
I know there was something I saw in the 90s that was his. That was real
yeah,
wacky.
Doom Generation is the big
Yes,
one, I think.
that's what it was. Yeah.
We're totally fucked up. But I really liked it a lot, and Olivia Wilde's incredible in it. Just absolutely incredible. Very, very fucking hot, and it's a real good movie. I recommend seeing it if you get a chance to go out and catch it. Anyway, Cooper Hoffman's great, and he was rumored to be Cyclops, and people got really mad because he's not handsome enough or he's not in good enough shape. And I was like, nobody is beating the homoerotic thing about superhero fans. Like, you can't beat it, because like when you're complaining that he's not handsome enough and his teeth aren't perfect, it's like, come on, guys. Like, sorry, this man's not hot enough for you to play your little action figure.
Yeah, and also, not for nothing, we know when these people get cast, if they're not in good enough shape, Marvel's like, by the way, here's a trainer and
that's the thing. They will put him. Yes, they will put him through the paces. That's the thing. Yeah. And I do think that Cooper Hoffman, whether or not he was actually in discussion, a lot of people are saying he was in discussion and they didn't go with him. Whether or not he was, I do think the one problem is that I'd be interested to see him play a Cyclops-like character, because he's a lot like his dad, in that like he kind of plays like a loosey-goosey guy most of the time. That's like his vibe. Even like in The Long Walk, he's got like a loosey-goosey vibe. Cyclops got a huge stick up his ass. And so that would be interesting to see if he was able to pull that off. And I don't want to say like, oh, I've only seen him do this, therefore he can't do that. That's just not how acting works. So, but yeah. Anyway, Kit Connor. God, sorry.
You ever hear Ben Affleck talk about making what's the space drilling movie? I can't remember. Armageddon, and how Michael Bay made him get his teeth fixed for it. And Michael Bay was like nobody in this movie should have crooked teeth. And he's like, I'm a fucking oil driller in the movie. Why wouldn't I why do I need perfect teeth? I don't understand.
Oh man. Kit Connor's in the Elden Ring movie.
Sure.
Directed by Alex Garland, who directed Warfare. And do you know who's in the Elden Ring movie? Kit Connor, Kaylee Spenny, Ben Whishaw, Nick Offerman, Emma Laird, Peter Serafinowicz, Jonathan Pryce. I honestly do not know what an Elden Ring movie looks like. It's just he dies a lot. Like,
this is an A24 movie, isn't it?
It sure is. Yeah.
Weird. This is weird.
But also Alex Garland is like his ex machina. You know what I mean? Like, he's not like a schlock.
28 years later, 28 weeks later, 28 days later.
It's crazy. So like, I think it's very fascinating. So I guess Kit Connor's playing the Tarnished.
What if the entire movie is that Onion article about Snake from Metal Gear praying that the child won't hit continue because he's so tired of dying? That's one of my favorite articles.
I just hope that in the Elden Ring movie, all that Kit Connor does in fights is roll around on the ground, because that's like the number one move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious what the Elden Ring movie is going to be like. George R.R. Martin did the story for that.
Did he really?
Wow. Yeah, for the game. Yeah, he created the world
for the game.
And stuff.
Okay,
yeah.
Anything to not write that book.
Anything to not write that book, indeed. Is that all of the news we got this week?
That's all the news I got.
A lot of news we had. All right, you ready for some letters?
Yeah.
All right, Tom says, hey, fellas, am I overthinking this, or in Brand New Day is Peter worried he might accidentally reverse the spell from the end of No Way Home? I'm asking because otherwise I can't figure out why he keeps using fake names, why he moves apartments just because another tenant recognizes him as their neighbor, why he has that pizza dropped at his door instead of just having the guy hand it to him, and why he refuses to take his mask off around the Punisher or Yelena. The mask thing really stuck out to me because, for one thing, he doesn't have anyone in his life to protect anymore, and for another, he previously didn't care about the Avengers knowing his identity, seeing his face. To me, it seemed to suggest he thought that if people start to form new members of Peter Parker, it might cause the same situation at the end of No Way Home. Interested to hear your thoughts, and thanks as always for all the time and effort you put into making these entertaining shows. Thank you, Tom. I'm going to take that one, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
The reason why is because the whole movie is about Peter isolating himself, and the mask and not giving people his real name is another way of isolating himself. He's never being himself with people. He's always being somebody else or Spider-Man or whatever. And so that's the whole premise, is that Peter has to stop isolating himself. That's the lesson that he learns over the course of the movie. And that's like where his weakness is, that he does not have human connections. And so that is all ways of him continuing distance and isolation. It's not that he thinks Punisher's going to know who he is. It's just that, like, he's not gonna let anybody in. Nobody comes in. Like, this is a totally secret part of his life. That's it. Like, nobody knows Peter Parker at all. Like, literally, kind of.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening there. So it's all psychological. It's not about the spell or anything like that. Would you agree with that?
Yes and no. I think thematically you're correct. I think character-wise, he is afraid of the last time I let people know who I was, it caused all these problems and Aunt May died. I have to keep everyone away.
I mean, it could be like a PTSD thing on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That to me feels very Spider-Man-ish.
Yeah, I can see that. But Tom's right. He has nobody left in his life. There's nobody left.
No, but he won't let anybody in because the last time he let people in, everything went really bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he'll never let anyone else in. Is his thought process.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. All right, Buddy Shane has our next letter. Hey guys, while watching American Psycho for the first time, Buddy Shane, welcome. That's a terrific movie. A question popped into my head during the scene where Christian Bale is having a threesome and watching himself flex in the mirror. Will we ever see Batman bang? With all the R-rated DC shows and movies being released, I feel like the odds have at the very least increased to non-zero. So in your opinion, do you think someday we'll see Batman bang on the big screen? That's a great question, because Batman does bang in the comics, but not very often. He's banged in the movies. On screen?
Yeah.
On screen, he said sex.
I mean, they're not like showing like penetration or anything, but yeah.
There's like him in bed with somebody?
Yeah, in the last Nolan movie, he sleeps with Talia. In Batman '89, they show him in bed with Vicky Vale.
Yeah, but we're seeing like aftermath and stuff. That's all super PG rated. He's talking about like the scene in American Psycho. He is having sex with.
No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to.
I don't know. They did that comic where Batman's dick was in it until they.
Yeah, and then they realized that you could see Batman's dick, and they recalled it real quick. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that it's possible. I think the thing is that if DC shit keeps like kind of not working the way that it has been, they might just be trying everything. They might do a Red Shoe Diaries.
But Batman is the one thing that works. Like, they know Batman works.
Yeah.
So they're not going to need to go that route with him.
Yeah.
And they know a big part of why Batman works is because people are like, I'll show it to my 12-year-old, my 13-year-old.
The funny thing is, you could do an R-rated violent Batman and nobody have a problem, but you do an R-rated Batman where he's like hitting Talia doggy style and people would lose their fucking minds.
Oh, they'd freak out.
They'd lose their fucking minds. But like, that's the thing. That's the hairy-chested sex god era of Batman, right? So like, that is like sort of like in the character. That's there. And I think that like in the 70s and the 80s, they went a little bit up to the line, like, because all stuff was going up to the line back then. So, I mean, I'd be interested in seeing it, but I guess maybe you're right.
I mean, during the Tom King run, there's like an entire like 2-issue storyline where it's just him and Catwoman on vacation fucking constantly. Like, so.
But I'm sure it's all off panel, though. None of it's happening on panel.
No.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's him banging off screen or off.
But I'm saying he's still in the comics. He's still getting his. Is what I'm saying. He's still going. He's not. He's no Nightwing, where there's that issue of Teen Titans where there's like condom wrappers all over the place. Like, you know.
Yeah. You know what? Nightwing is currently dating. I think he's still currently dating Barbara Gordon.
I thought they got married.
Did they get married?
I don't remember.
If they got married, it was after the Tom Taylor run. I'm behind on the current run because I don't like it very much.
I thought they got married at the end of the Tom Taylor run. So if they didn't, then no. Okay.
It's a really good couple, though. It's like a really, really good
I
couple.
like them together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really, really good couple. I like that quite a bit. Everybody, I know that Starfire is like what everybody wants, but like it's a pretty good couple. There's a new in the new Teen Titans book. Starfire was like in it for a minute, and like they were all had their memories erased, and they were like all acting like they were back in the '80s, and so like Dick and Starfire like made out and stuff like that, and it was like kind of like everybody was a little upset about it. Like not in our world, like Barbara and Starfire and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But then she's like, I'm leaving Earth, so I won't be in this comic anymore. So, but yeah, I think maybe Nightwing we could do like an R-rated HBO show, right? You think?
Sure.
You can see his ass pumping.
I mean, I would think if you were going to take a Batman family character and do an R-rated show, it would probably be
The Penguin.
the Penguin. Yeah. No. Although yes, but Jason Todd would be the one they would go.
That's the thing. 'Cause they did an R-rated Penguin. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, so, like, I don't know what the thought process is on some of this stuff.
Was Penguin R-rated?
I mean, yeah, Penguin is not.
I don't remember anything overly R-rated.
I'm pretty sure it's mature audiences. I'm pretty sure it was.
I guess they
the
curse, right? I'm sure there's
and they
cursing.
curse, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot of violence. I don't remember if there's any nudity.
I don't remember a lot of blood though. Like,
Yeah, it was a TVMA, which is essentially R.
okay, yeah.
So yeah, I mean it was very violent. It was very, very violent. I think that you're just not remembering because like everything has
probably
become so violent that it's like
Yeah.
you don't even remember anymore. But they do swear up a storm. I wonder if there's any nudity in Lanterns. Like, is Hal Jordan going to go to the strip club?
There is definitely a sex scene in Lanterns. We know that.
Really?
Yes.
How do we know that?
One of the actors in it? I forgot her name, but she was doing a panel at Comic-Con, and they were asked. Everyone on the panel was like different women from different shows were asked like, "What's something you're really proud of in what you have coming out?" And she said, "I'm proud that I forgot how old she is, but she mentions her age, and she's for Hollywood on the older side. She's like that I'm this age, and I have a sex scene in Lanterns."
Wow.
Yeah, it's her and Jon Stewart.
It's her and Jon Stewart?
Yep.
I thought that she was. Wait, are we talking about Kelly MacDonald?
No, the other main woman in the show.
This is.
Pakistani actor.
Oh, okay. Porna Jagannathan.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Okay. So, yeah. So I guess maybe we won't see that happening. I guess. All right. Our last letter comes to us from Clay. Hey guys, with Christopher Nolan's Odyssey succeeding in being kind of a huge budget epic fuck you to streaming, digital filmmaking, and so many other crutches of modern movie making, and films like Obsession and Backrooms being sort of the low budget counterpoint, what lessons do you think will be taken by the industry from these successes, and more specifically, which wrong lessons will be taken? As anytime these sorts of things happen, the people who try to capitalize on it inevitably take the wrong lessons away from it. Thanks, Clay. You want to take this one first?
First, I'm gonna argue that it's not a fuck you to streaming. Any of these movies, like they're just movies. I don't like. There's nothing about them that is anti-streaming.
Nolan's movies are a little bit of a fuck you to streaming.
Nolan's movies are just Nolan doing what Nolan can because he makes a lot of money. That's it.
But what he does though is make these movies that are like super duper designed to be in the biggest format possible.
Sure, but I think
also
if you watch the Odyssey, everything is center frame. Like the main action is always center frame. Like, he's not doing things that are rough for streaming. You know?
But it's just not. It just doesn't have the same impact on your TV as it does in the IMAX. And it's
I think you can say that
it's
with
largely
everything.
center frame because IMAX screen is square. That's why he's going to do a little bit more center framing on that. It's not because he's doing it for TikTok.
Yeah.
The IMAX screen is mostly square. So.
Yeah, he's just making things for old tube TVs.
I don't think that's the case. You're so dismissive about things in weird ways sometimes.
No, that's a joke. I'm making a joke, but I don't think any of those movies are like fuck streaming. Like, there's nothing in them that stands out to me.
Okay,
as
but
like,
what lessons do you think Hollywood will take that are incorrect lessons?
I mean, we're already seeing with Backrooms that they're like snapping up every creepy pasta that they can, right? So you got that going. Obsession, I don't know what they're going to take from Obsession.
I mean, Obsession is the same thing though, because the Curry Barker's internet guy. So they're looking
Yeah.
for what they call digital native filmmakers.
Yeah.
They're looking for people on TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's who they're going to be hiring as directors. You're going to see like a bunch of 24-year-old directors, I think, in the next couple of years. That's going to be the incorrect lesson that's taken. They're going to hire a bunch of 24-year-old filmmakers. And
But I mean, that's nothing new, right? I mean, how old was Spielberg when he started? How old was Lucas when he started? Like,
well, so here's the deal. Those guys were getting their films made in a time of immense uncertainty in Hollywood. That's how they got in as young people.
what are we in now?
The thing is, I think the difference here, and I'm not casting aspersions on any of these filmmakers, these current young filmmakers, but those guys came up in a very different world. Where they went to film school and they studied movies, and the digital natives kind of don't do that.
But keep in mind, when those guys went to film school and were coming up, everyone before them were like, film school, idiots.
No, I agree. I get it. But like the point is they
know.
studied the art of making movies, and they studied the movies that came before. These guys studied Mr. Beast. It's like a different thing. Like they're
I don't think that's fair. I don't think you watch Obsession or Backrooms and be like, oh, this guy is he studied Mr. Beast. I think
saying
they know how to make good stories.
I mean, I guess I think that I don't think either of those movies are that interesting looking, frankly. I think Obsession is not a good looking movie, and I think that Backrooms is the most boring looking movie of the last 10 years.
I mean, I don't disagree that Backrooms is very boring looking, but I think A, that is part of the aesthetic of the entire thing, and B, it's somewhat impressive to me that it is so bland looking, and yet I was hooked into it the entire time. I was drawn into it. So I don't know.
You know what? I watched the first 20 minutes and I turned it off.
All right.
I got to go back to it, but I watched the first 20 minutes and I was like, I hate this. Like, I hate this. And I was just like, I'm not afraid of hallways. Like, I'm just not afraid of hallways. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not afraid of empty hallways. Like, this just doesn't work for me. And also, I'm not afraid of like things clipping through reality because I didn't grow up in a video game world. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have an understanding of the world in that way. Like, no, the things don't clip. So I got to go back. I owe my boy Chiwetel Ejiofor at least the entire picture, but I had it on streaming on my friend's Plex, and I was like, whoa. It was also really just ugly, frankly. But they made movies that made a lot of money, and people like them, so like whatever. But like again, the difference between somebody like Spielberg, who like really worked making short films, working on TV, learning the craft, and actually, also he's a genius is the other thing. That's like an unfair comparison. He's probably one of the greatest filmmakers who ever lived.
Yeah.
He's certainly the greatest living filmmaker, I would say. He is the filmmaker who is most attuned with filmmaking. Like he just breathes it. And Lucas is like a weirdo. Like his movies are not all that well made per se. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of his instincts.
I think American Graffiti is very well made.
Yeah, it is, but like that is in spite of some of his worst instincts.
I mean, it's also the first Star Wars.
It's in spite of his worst instincts.
Yeah.
But I just think that, like, I don't know. I feel very cynical about a generation that is disconnected from the art form in the past, in the way that many young people are today. Yeah. And I just find that, like, if you can't talk about movies that are older than the 1990s, I don't know that you know enough about movies. And I don't, obviously, if you're just making like schlock, who cares, right? Like, whatever. But if we're going to be like, oh, these are the future of filmmaking, like, oh, I'm not that psyched about that, so anyway, I guess we'll see. I mean, I'm not trying to be like super negative about the kids today, but like, and maybe Curry Barker, his next one, I'll be like, holy shit, this fucking guy's actually got it. Because sometimes like Obsession's bad. I didn't like it that much.
No, I didn't like Obsession, but I think it's a well-made movie, but it's just not, I didn't like it.
I think it's an okay-made movie. I don't think it doesn't look particularly great.
I mean, I will say, walking out of that movie, I was like, production design is very good in that movie. They really should have paid those people more money.
Harsh. What they're going to take from the Odyssey is we're going to see like a couple of fucking Greek myth movies getting greenlit. Like that's just the
I don't.
absolute wrong fucking thing.
I don't even know about that because
think so?
no, I think the industry understands that Nolan is just Nolan. Like, like we didn't see after Oppenheimer a bunch of movies about scientists getting greenlit, right? Like,
Yeah, but the problem is that Oppenheimer, the success of Oppenheimer is like such a clear outlier. Like that kind of a movie doesn't make that kind of money.
Yeah.
They make that kind of movie, biopics. They make them all the
Sure.
time. I mean, although Michael made a fucking gazillion dollars.
Yeah.
So there might actually be like a wave of biopics coming. But the thing is that Greek myth and fantasy movies have worked. And so when he makes one that works, everybody's like, "Oh, that's right, we can do Greek myths. That IP is free," and that's the thing I'm wondering if somebody's like, "Fuck, why aren't we doing a Minotaur movie?" And then that's how you end up with like a bunch of garbage Clash of the Titans remake movies and stuff like that.
Sure.
People don't really get what works here, and they don't understand that it isn't necessarily the mythology that's working per se. But that's what they're going to try to cash in on. The kids today, they love the sirens. So let's give them something else that's like that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know if we're going to see a ton of it. But, like, also, as everybody's trying to figure out what works for action for quadrant movies, which I think is right now is up in the air, I think that, like, fantasy Greek myth movies is just as good of an angle to take as any other.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see some studio exec being like, we could do a whole universe of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Greek myths are the original shared universe. Like, that's the thing. And again, it's free IP, and everybody knows it. The name recognition's off the fucking charts.
Yeah.
You just got to make it good. Like, but they don't do that. Like, when the Hercules movie, no good. Like, and, so. Yeah, exactly. So, I think actually you could probably do a pretty good Greek myth TV show, like on HBO. I think you could do that. I think you could do that. Yeah. Like, sort of like in the world of the gods. I think you could do something interesting there. There was, like I said, Jeff Goldblum Chaos show about the gods.
Yeah, but that was like they're in modern day. Yeah.
So, all right, if you have questions for us to answer on the program, please send them to ask.cinema.sangha, S-A-N-G-H-A, @gmail.com. Put the name of the show that you want your question read on in the subject line, and please, one question per email. You can send a bunch of emails. We are low on Across the Omniverse questions, and so we're pretty, we're pretty loose about what we answer questions about. So
it can be about anything.
Pretty much anything, yeah. So please send in some questions for us. We really appreciate it. And also, if you haven't already, really consider joining the Patreon, www.patreon.com/cinemasangha, SANGHA. At the $7 above level, you do get our Watchmen, and you get it's like hundreds of hours of podcasts, like literally maybe 1,000 hours of podcasts at this point. So this will look a lot. You got your commute taken care of if you become a member. Anyway, all right, you ready to talk about the next episode of X-Men 97?
Let's do it.